A 30-year-old with 10% returns just lost to a 20-year-old with 8% returns. These numbers are about to shock you. While 17-year-olds are all over TikTok bragging about their 170% gains on their $10 trade, I'm about to reveal why that means absolutely nothing. And while they're on TikTok, and I'm a CPA. Because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover the same secret that made Warren Buffett 99% of his wealth after the age of 50. But here's where it gets crazy. The person who invests $630,000 can actually lose to somebody who only invests $144,000. And I'm about to prove it with real math, real strategies from an actual CPA. Many investors assume their investment return is the most important factor. They're dead wrong. And I'm going to show you exactly why. My core framework is something called the wealth triangle. The wealth triangle drives wealth building, but here's what they don't tell you. The order matters way more than the components themselves. The wealth triangle in sequential order, from the most important to least important, consists of three things: time, contribution, and then return. Notice what comes last: return. The thing everybody obsesses over is actually the least important as part of my wealth triangle. Now, the next part is crucial, so do not click away. I'm about to blow your mind with a few different scenarios. This will change the way you think about investing forever. Let's take Jake and Sara as our test subjects today. So as you can see on the screen, Jake is 20 and Sara is 30. They both begin to invest $1,000 per month. Now pay attention to this part, because this is where most people mess up. Sara believes she's more savvy of an investor than Jake. And you know what? She actually is. By a full 2%. And that may not sound like a ton, but in the investing game, 2% is significant. That's the difference between an average investor and somebody that actually knows what they're doing. So let's compare their portfolios at age 50. So from age 20 to 50, Jake invested $1,000 per month and returned 8%. Standard market returns, nothing fancy. Sara invested the same $1,000 per month, but for 10 years less, beginning at age 30. So although she returned the 10%, significantly better than Jake's 8%, here's what actually happened. Jake's balance at age 50 is 1.4 million. Sara's balance at age 50 is just under 800,000. And I know what you're thinking right now. What if Sara was just like an even better investor? This is the part that saves you from making the biggest mistake that you could potentially make with investing, so watch carefully. Let's test some things out. What if Sara actually returned 12%? That would be crazy, right? We're talking 2% above historical market return. That is beyond rare. Only the top 3% of fund managers could even achieve this, and they are paid in on Wall Street, but they also come with a price. So what's their real net return? But the thing is, she's still short, sub $1 million. She still loses to Jake. For fun, let's say she returned 14%. This is what the modern day day trader claims they can do, but they are the modern day day trader, and that speaks volumes. We're talking closer to Warren Buffett levels now, like the TikTokers always get, right? She still loses 1.3 million, still short of Jake's 1.4 million. But here's where it gets insane. To stop making you guess, let me give you a number that should terrify every day trader. In order for Sara to actually beat Jake, she would need a 15% annualized return over her 20 years to match Jake. She would have to double the returns to match what Jake had, simply to match him, not beat him, match him. And this is why your friend that started investing at 22 is probably going to be richer than you, even if you're the better investor. Now let's look at this from a completely different angle, because what I'm about to show you will surprise you even more. Let's look at Sara and Jake in a different light. Let's say Jake invests $1,000 from age 18 to 30. That's only 12 years of investing. And after age 30, Jake throws in the towel and never invests again. He decides to follow what I call the set it and forget it rule. Maybe he's too busy, maybe he's living life. Doesn't matter. He stops completely. Sara, on the other hand, parties her 20s away. She maybe rides one too many mechanical bulls in Vegas, but then at age 30, she gets really serious. She begins investing $1,000 a month from age 30 to 65. That's 35 years of disciplined investing. For this example, let's say they both earn 8% during their investment windows. Same returns for both. Remember the subplot I mentioned earlier about how time matters? Here's where it gets revealed. At age 60, Jake would end up with $3.9 million. Sara, only $2.3 million. Jake invested for 12 years and stopped at age 30. Sara invested for 35 years, nearly 3 times as long, and she still lost by $1.6 million. But wait, there's actually something this example doesn't show you yet. Let's take this one step further, because I know some of you are thinking, but what if Sara just invests even better? Let's say Sara earns 10% over her investment window, compared to Jake's 8%. She's the better investor again, just like before. Drum roll, please. $3.8 million. She still underperforms Jake, even with better returns and investing 3 times as long. This is the part nobody talks about, but it's about to change the way you think about money forever. Let's assume the same example we just discussed. Remember, Jake invests from age 18 to 30, and Sara invests from age 30 to 65. Let's also assume Jake invests $1,000 per month until 30, gets his 8%, and then stops. But Sara, trying to catch up, invests $1,500 a month, earning the 8%. For context, and this is crucial, that means Sara is investing $630,000 over investment lifetime. Jake only invests $144,000 over his investment window. Sara put in 4 times more money than Jake did. The results? Jake, the same $3.9 million discussed earlier. Sara, $3.4 million. She put in 4 times the amount of money that Jake did and still lost. So what's the secret to investing? Jake seemed to drastically underperform Sara's performance the entire time, right? He invested less money, he invested for fewer years, and in some examples had lower return. But this entire time, Jake had more time on his side, and time matters in a big way. As you can see here, time is by far the most important factor of the wealth triangle. By a mile, and it's not even close. This is why 99% of Warren Buffett's wealth came after the age of 50. Not because he's a better investor, he is. Not because he found better stocks, he did. But because time did the heavy lifting. The compound interest had decades to work. Good things take time. Trying to get rich quick does not work. So good luck to all the traders out there thinking they can outsmart time. I will crush you. Mark my word. And remember the wealth triangle I talked about in the beginning? Here's how you can actually use it. Think of it like this. You're just turning on the clock and letting your money work for you for long periods of time. That's factor number 1, time, which you know by now is the most important. While that's happening, you can actively focus on your income and add more contributions to your pile of investments. That's factor number 2, contributions, which you have complete control over. And for the third factor, the returns, all you need to do is dollar cost average into low cost index funds and ETFs for a long period of time, and you're going to beat 90% of the investors out there. If you control 2 of the 3 factors here that are within your power, you're going to win big. And the beautiful part, the 2 factors you can control, time and contributions, are the 2 most important ones. The get rich quick guy will always try to outpace you. He'll show you his 170% gains on his $10 trade. He'll talk about his winning streak. He'll try to convince you why you're doing it wrong, but the force of time is too strong for him. It will crush him. And while he's stressed about daily market movement, checking his phone every 5 minutes, and paying taxes on short-term capital gains that he has no idea about, your money's quietly compounding tax-free in the background, growing, building, multiplying. The earlier you begin this process, the greater your money grows. Exponentially, not linearly. It's not linear, exponentially. So here's what you need to do right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. First, begin this process for yourself immediately. Every single month you wait is costing you thousands of dollars in future wealth. Remember Sara? She waited 10 years and it cost her upward of $800,000. Second, tell your children about this. Show them this math. Start investment accounts for them now, even if it's just $50 a month. Third, tell people younger than you. Share this video. Your younger siblings, your cousins, your coworkers who just started their careers. Give them the head start all of us wish we had. Because here's the truth nobody wants to admit. The best time to start investing was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Look, I get it. When you're young, investing seems boring. The stock market seems complicated. And that TikTok trader showing you those massive gains on paper seems more exciting. But remember Jake and Sara. Remember those numbers. Jake turned $144,000 into $3.9 million just by starting early. Sara put in $630,000 and ended up with less. The math doesn't lie. TikTok traders do. Time is your greatest asset when you're young, and it's the one thing you can never get back. So if you want to see exactly how I'm implementing this exact strategy for my 2 daughters, setting them both up for a lifetime of financial freedom, make sure to watch that video next. Drop a comment below on your biggest takeaway from this video. Are you team Jake or are you team Sara here? When did you start investing and what would you tell your younger self? And remember to subscribe to this video so you get the updates every single Monday when I post a video, and that may be your best investment you can make. It's free, it takes 1 second, and the knowledge you're going to gain on this YouTube channel is going to be worth millions over your investing life. I will see you next week.